If you're just getting started with riding, what you want to do is you want to try to build up to about an hour 3 times a week. If you can do 3 rides at an hour a time, now you start to get serious, and now here's where these 3 rides come in. The first ride is what's called a long ride, or a LSD, long steady ride, long steady distance, or long slow distance. Now this is not implying that you're going so slow you can fall over, but what you want to do is you want to start building up the distance with which you ride. So if you're riding an hour, once a week then you would try to do a longer ride. So you would try to build up the following week, you try to do an hour and 20 minutes. Do that for 2 or 3 weeks and let your body adapt to it, and what you'll notice is after time, an hour and 20 minutes seems kind of easy. So then you do an hour 40 minutes, and then 2 hours, and then 2 hours 20 minutes, and you just try to build up. And honestly, the sky is the limit of how far you want to ride. So for weekend rides, what you want to do is try to find places that there's not a lot of stop signs. You don't want to be in a big city. You want to kind of be in the middle of nowhere. And that way you can just ride, not worry about traffic, not worry about cars, and just do a continuous motion of pedaling. The second type of ride is once you start to get serious about it, you can start doing intervals. Now there's a million different types of intervals. There's Tabata intervals, which I personally like. I'll do to get ready for cyclocross season. And that's where you do 20 seconds as hard as humanly possible. So you just pedal as fast as you possibly can for about 20 seconds, and then you rest for 10 seconds. And then you do 20 seconds as hard as humanly possible, and then you do 10 seconds of rest. And you just keep doing this for 4 minutes. Well, that's a type of interval. Then there's other types of intervals where you'll be riding your bike, and then you'll go as hard as you possibly can for 1 minute. Then you rest for a minute. Then you do another minute of hard as possibly can. There's other types of intervals where you'll do 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 4 minutes. Then you could do 20-minute intervals. So there's a million different ways to do it. The sweet spot, the one that works the best, is 2 to 4 minutes, somewhere in there. You should be breathing so heavily that you think your heart's gonna pound out of your chest. And that's how you know you're doing good intervals. What you'll find is when you do that type of workout, you'll find that you get faster, you get stronger on the bike, hills get easier, and there's all types of benefit. Now the last one people generally don't like to do, but it's very, very valuable. I call it a recovery ride, or what's known as, I like to call it, just thinking about it, pulling back the rubber band. So a rubber band only has strength if you pull it backwards. So if you want to get stronger, sometimes you need to ride real easy. So what that means is you just go out for 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll ride in my garage. I have these things called rollers, and you can actually ride very, very easy. You're hardly even breaking a sweat. Sometimes I'll go out on my bike and I won't even put the jersey on or my kit or anything like that. I'll just go out and ride in blue jeans and tennis shoes and just go out for 20 minutes, just spinning the legs, just getting blood flow into the legs without actually breaking a sweat. What you'll find is when you do this, you actually end up feeling much better the next day than if you just did no riding at all. When you're doing a recovery ride, it's very easy, smooth pedaling, and literally like you could just sit next to someone and just talk about your day, no problem. So if you're new to cycling, these are the basic 3 types of rides that you can do. As you get serious into it, you'll find people get very detailed and very serious. You don't need a power meter, you don't need a heart rate to do any of these rides I just mentioned, but if you have a power meter, if you have heart rate monitors, those add a whole new dimension and whole new seriousness. The last thing, just to let you know, something to keep in mind if you're new to cycling, and I've seen this with people, particularly people that enter triathlons and stuff like that, is you can get so serious about all this stuff that you stop having fun. Cycling should be fun. Unless you're winning the Tour de France, unless you're winning money at this, this is for exercise and it should be enjoyable. So sometimes it's nice to just go out and ride with friends. It's nice to just go out and just not think about what type of training that you're gonna do, and just go out and ride and have a great time. The bicycle will take you in places that you would never see when you're driving a car. And sometimes when you ride a lot, you get to know your community very well. Well, one way to make it more fun is go to the next town above you or below you, and go to a new town and start exploring new places by bicycle. And it really adds a new dimension to your life. And when you get good at it, what you can do is you can actually, instead of taking your bike, putting it in the car and driving to a new town to ride, actually just ride to that town and then start exploring. So hopefully this video is informative to you if you're a new cyclist. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also in my YouTube channel I have a playlist of all different types of cycling videos. So if you want to watch those, go ahead and do so.